I am Mr. C. Laneous, reviewer of the Miscellaneous. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a review I've been waiting to do for quite some time. In fact, I would have done it a couple years ago if a certain someone hadn't threatened to electrocute me if I didn't go straight to Alice.
It worked out.
Whatever.
My electricity didn't even work that day. I was just cutting to another clip.
I said whatever. So, in the spirit of the month of Valentine's Day, I present to you a tale of love, music, overbearing mothers, and of course, drugs. Bye Bye Birdie, the film adaptation of the beloved Elvis parodying Broadway musical, which, strangely enough, has a very different narrative than the musical. Part of that was because the filmmakers decided to make this a vehicle for the then up-and-coming Anne Margaret, but even then, it's filled with some strange changes and a few new characters, out of whom my favorite is a pigeon. Now, while I probably will bring up a few as we go along, if I mention all the changes, we're gonna be here all night. Or day. Or afternoon. Whatever time of day you're watching this. Now, as for what they did do with the story, let's take a look. We begin with the breaking news that singing sensation Conrad Birdie has been drafted into the army.
Bye Bye Birdie!
Oh, sorry, I guess it's pronounced Burhi. By the way, for those of you under the age of 45, that's Anne Margaret. We find out later that she's one of the main characters, but for now this is just some random chick singing about how she's saddened by the whole drafting thing. Of course, it's not just her. Pretty much every single female in the country is in despair over the induction of Conrad Birdie. So much so, they actually form a protest outside the White House. I love this one sign that says, "The Army is mean!" I think it explains itself. We then meet Albert Peterson, played by Dick Van Dyke, not only reprising his Tony-winning role, but also making his feature film debut. Al, being Conrad Birdie's songwriter and having some financial troubles of his own, is unsurprisingly upset by this turn of events.
In 6 years, I never sold one lousy song. I don't care so much about myself, but I'm my mother's sole support. I wasted every cent my father left Mama.
It's not your fault. Your mother wants you to be a songwriter. You can make a good living as a biochemist.
That's a wonderful profession. But Mama,
Just because she was once in vaudeville doesn't mean that you belong in show business.
Mama's sensitive. When I upset her, she faints.
Why, with your ideas, you can make a fortune in chemistry.
Meanwhile, Al's secretary and longtime girlfriend Rosie, played by Janet Psycho Shower Lady Lee, has gone to see Ed Sullivan. She's not getting a new job, no, but she has a special plan to save the situation. Wait, shouldn't she have told Albert about it beforehand? You know, keep him in the know about her big spectacular plan so he doesn't think she's betraying him or something, which is what he's thinking right now. Ah, screw him, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's only the reason we're doing this.
Before Conrad Birdie goes into the army, he bestows a farewell kiss on all the swooning girls who worship him on your TV show. Actually, he'll only kiss one girl. Birdie, their idol, their leader, kissing one fabulously lucky teenage Tessie.
Think of the advanced publicity.
Rosie, get to Birdie's fan club file right away and get us a girl from Ohio. We'll do it from the stage, the Outdoor Theater, Columbus, Ohio, right after the ballet.
Kinda lessens the significance a little, doesn't it? Now we're picking one girl out of every single girl in America, but really just Ohio. Kim McAfee, played of course by Anne Margaret, is the lucky girl chosen, but Rose is unable to contact her at the moment because the line is busy with the news that she's going steady with Hugo Peabody. Seriously, this is big-time news!
Did they really get paid? Go steady!
I was hoping they would! Go steady! She does it! She nailed him!
I gotta say, I feel this number was adapted to the screen nicely, with all the activity and action and such. But then this happens at the end. Weird. So anyway, what was that? Oh god, no! It's the obvious joke! No, please! You're way too obvious to use! I appreciate you telling me, but no! Not now, please! Will you go away? Please! Go away! Go away! Please! Please!
I defy you!
You know, it's weird. My voice always does that whenever I say that particular sentence.
I just came from Ed Sullivan's office.
Sullivan?
Yes, Ed
Go to
Sullivan.
work for Ed Sullivan.
Oh,
Leap from the sinking ship while the house is on fire.
Oh, I've had just about enough of your kind of ilks, too.
One argument that totally could have been avoided if Rosie had told Al about her plan later. They patch things up and Rose finally begins to tell Al about her plan. Or at least that he needs to compose for some reason, only to be interrupted by Albert's overbearing mother, May. Ironically, May's actress Maureen Stapleton was only 6 months older than Dick Van Dyke. So, who's uncomfortable?
Mommy, you know Rose de Leon.
I wonder some older man hasn't snatched her away. Personable matron.
Speaking of married,
Your poor father and I, that was a marriage.
I'm thinking of dissolving Almy Lou.
Wait, Lou. I'm coming. I'll be right up there. We can play canasta again.
Mama, forget it. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Rose finally manages to get a hold of Kim, who's in the middle of graciously embracing womanhood.
Well, Kim, it's for you. She says it's long distance.
Thank you, Doris.
Did you say Doris?
It's the modern way, dear. Makes mother and daughter more like friends.
Harry, do you have a cigarette? I've run out.
Oh, so have I. How about my pipe?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the screen in a reprisal of his Broadway performance, undoubtedly the best character in the Bye Bye Birdie universe, Paul Lynde as Harry McAfee!
You have been selected from all the teenagers in the United States to be kissed by Conrad Birdie on the Ed Sullivan Show this Sunday night. We'll be in touch. Goodbye.
I'm not going to give you any more details or talk with your parents or anything. We'll just keep in touch. Oh, and also, you were really just chosen out of every teenager in Ohio, but you know, United States sounds better in marketing. We'll be in touch. Goodbye. The big day soon arrives, and before the cult of Conrad can welcome their idol, they're briefly detained by their gender opposites, who are upset about their women being poisoned. I'm not overblowing it. Those are the words they use.
He's poisoned our women.
And among them is Kim's meek, steady Hugo, the only teenager in town with gray hair.
How can you let another man kiss you? And in public?
I assure you, I won't even feel it. I'm just a symbol. This is bigger than us.
I'd say it's bigger than Jesus, but that tends to not fly over too well.
Why, all this publicity for Sweet Apple? We'll have a population explosion. And just think what this will do for your father's undertaking business.
How wonderfully morbid.
Anyone for the reception, kids?
Hey, it's a new character for the film who needs to be introduced with blatant exposition.
Gee, Mr. Paisley, we think you're okay even if you are the English teacher. But are you with them?
It's bad enough the mayor's a think. But you, Mr. Paisley...
Well, you see, fellas, as a teacher and a brand new American citizen with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, I feel I should witness this unique sociological phenomenon.
Paisley also makes a quick flirt with Rose right before we get one of the most hilariously over-the-top entrances I've seen in a movie. So Conrad Birdie, who in no way resembles Charlie Sheen, ascends the town hall steps to accept his key to the city. Interestingly, Rosie and the mayor seem to be getting along pretty well, considering she stole 40 grand from him a few years back. No one cares about actor trivia! I do.
Conrad Birdie.
He said it! He said the name!
You gotta be sincere.
Okay, they totally stole this from Family Guy.
If you're really sincere, if you feel it in here, and it's gotta be right out, baby. You wanna be sincere. Yeah!
Not too bad a song, I guess. But is he really that much of a singing sensation? Oh my god, he knocked out an entire town! No wonder the army wants him! Just sing a song and he'll knock out an entire battalion! This is the greatest weapon ever!
He might make a terrific soldier. Turn him loose and the enemy will twitch itself to death.
Dang it, movie, why you gotta steal my jokes? Meanwhile, Harry's frustrated and through with the whole business, including Conrad taking up residence in the McAfee home.
And then that snake in a gold suit insists on parking in my beautiful living room.
Who parks a motorcycle in a living room? Wait, why does Conrad have to live with the McAfees in the first place? Are there no hotels in the area? Is it supposed to enhance the publicity in some way? Like, oh, he's living under the same roof as the girl he's gonna kiss goodbye. This living situation makes so much sense.
You know where I've just been? To a meeting with the big boys. They don't approve of this kind of notorious goings-on. If I don't cancel this whole Birdie deal, they'll starve me right out of business.
Al and Rosie try to distract them by talking about a formula Al made that can speed up a domestic animal's productivity, which would be incredibly beneficial for Harry's fertilizer business.
Would you like a demonstration? Do you have a hand?
No.
How about trying it on that?
Oh, it's a tortoise. I don't know.
Sure.
Of course, there isn't much demand for turtle eggs. If it really works on farm animals, maybe you and me could do some business. I'll sure need something if I let Kim go through with this Birdie stuff.
Some of Harry's customers are against it.
So I've decided it's absolutely out of the question.
Your neighbors are just going to be thrilled when they see the two of you on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yes, wait till they see you on the Ed Sullivan Show!
Gee, Ed Sullivan. He's my favorite human.
So, as if that wasn't any indication, how much of a Sullivan fanboy are you exactly? Ed Sullivan! Just keep your Ed Sullivan fanfiction out of this and we'll be good.
I've got a wonderful wife, 2 swell kids, a good business, and now this.
Well, I know what's gonna be in my nightmares tonight.
Ed, I love you.
So Harry allows Kim to do the show and gets the mayor on his side by telling him he can be on the show too.
I could become a statewide face.
Bit of political scheming from the mayor now, is there? This would be very interesting if they ever brought it up again. Which they don't. At all. You know, I wonder whatever happened with that tortoise.
I've taken a call on him Speed Up. You like it, Mr. McAfee?
Feed up with speed up.
Okay, that moment of silliness kind of speaks for itself, no?
Gee, you don't know what I've been through with all the guys bugging me. Well, about you and that Birdie creep.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that.
Well, that's silly.
It doesn't matter in the slightest that you're being bullied, probably rather viciously.
One boy, one certain boy, not 2 or 3.
Is it me, or is she just hand-waving the issue by saying what Hugo would want to hear so he'd shut up? Honestly, this conflict about Kim having a steady and the way Conrad affects her could be handled much more interestingly, but it's not given much focus here. It's just like I said, hand-waved. But enough of that, it's time for a personal encounter with Conrad. See what he's like off camera.
What kind of a dump is this?
Dump?
I can't find no church key in my room.
That's my favorite brand.
Here's what's interesting about Conrad's on-screen portrayal. In the show, it's shown that Conrad's tired of dealing with his insane fan base and he wants a break from them. And also at the end, he expresses his gratitude to Albert for all the crap he's had to do for him. The closest we get to any of that in the movie is this one throwaway line at the beginning.
Birdie's been wanting to give Albert a break for 6 years. I know he'll use the song if you say so.
Aside from that, he's just a one-dimensional dick here. Because who needs character development, right?
Tomorrow's Saturday, and that's my real tense night.
Okay, if the MGM lion ever quits, I think we found his replacement. You know what, screw it, I'm just gonna make a loop of that.
The next time I have a daughter, I hope it's a boy.
Albert goes outside to cheer up Rose, bringing out one of the show's most popular songs, which for the film has been turned into a drug trip.
Why look so awfully tragic? Put on a happy face.
I knew a girl so gloomy.
Hey, let's try out this theory. I don't know if he made a deal of some sort, or maybe he inherited it from his mother, but perhaps Al made a satanic pact to get these powers. You have to wonder what other powers he has aside from making cartoon faces, lyrics, and even independently sentient copies of people. And why has he never used these powers to get himself out of sticky situations? Or was the pact only limited to those three, and they can only be used to cheer up Rose? Of course, that would be a bit odd if he did inherit them from his mother, but then again, none of this might even be true. Maybe it's really just a filmmaking trick to make it more of a visual spectacle. And the Satanic Pact theory's more fun.
Well, the last time we were alone together, last summer at Palisades Park, we went through the Tunnel of Love.
Your mother sat between us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we may have just had the best line of the movie.
Yeah, from now on, things are going to be different.
Okay, did May install a tracking device in Albert the second he was born?
Well, soon as Albert and I get our new deal rolling.
What deal, Albert?
I'm quitting the music business and going back to chemistry.
That Rosie! She's finally turned you against me.
Just like a woman!
Just bury me on your front lawn so Rosie can walk all over me.
It's funny because she's killing herself.
It's not gas, it's electric.
First, how do you like it? I told you not to dye your hair. Oh, but I wanted to. Isn't it a gas?
It's not a gas, it's electric.
I demand respect around here.
I respect you, Papa.
I don't want your respect. Who wants respect from a 10-year-old kid? Kids! I don't know what's wrong with these kids today.
Kids! All the things I've done were for your own good. I never asked for nothing.
Nothing is what you'll get.
Junk me. Leave me in the gutter.
I'll never leave you, never.
You heard him. You're a witness.
I promise, Mama. I never broke a promise to my mama.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
And of course, this is the final straw for Rose, who leaves to hook up with that English teacher we completely forgot about. The next morning, everyone gathers for a rehearsal in the high school gym.
Come on, Kim, just move right over there. Just read it like you normally would. Okay.
Whoa, wait. How did Hugo and May get in? Okay, May I might be able to understand a little more seeing as she's Albert's mother, but how did they get past all those security guards outside? Was Hugo just sleeping in the gym overnight or something?
Come on, man, let's go.
Hi, Hugo.
Go.
Hi, Kim.
There's the camera. I bail in, I sing up a storm, I give this chick the message. This is my best side. Applause, applause.
Tell him you're through because you do not wish to humiliate your steady in this sordid fashion.
Hugo Peabody, you take that back.
I will not, but I will take my pin back.
Oh, with pleasure.
Oh, to be young and to feel love's keen sting.
This could have been easily avoided. I mean, did he have to kiss her right then? It's only a rehearsal. Hell, it's not just a rehearsal. All he's doing is talking through what's supposed to happen. All he had to do was dip her and say, "This is where I kiss her." It's that easy. Of course, if she fainted on air, we might still get that breakup, although maybe the fact that it would be the end of the whole Birdie ideal might possibly make Hugo feel slightly bitter, I don't know. But even then, not the brightest move on Conrad's part. What if this happened in a different context? Okay, before we go into action, let's review the plan one more time. We go through the tunnel and come out the trapdoor. Here. The rest of yous hold the security guard hostage. I shoot him, and the entire vault is ours for the taking. Tony's dead, you bastard! That's how this business works, Vito. Well, this and 1960s music sensations. And that's not the end of the bad news. The Russian ballet from the same broadcast suddenly switches to another longer piece, leaving less than 30 seconds for Birdie. The song and the kiss won't be able to go on, ruining the plan. So I guess there's nothing in their contract saying they can't inexplicably change the song they're doing the day before the broadcast? And for that matter...
There are chicks.
Hold on, I'll have to get to the rest of that later. First I have this sequence to deal with.
Kiss me.
Yeah, this is a lot of living to do. An enjoyable plot-relevant song in the show that's been reduced to undoubtedly the weakest part of the film. As far as plot relevancy goes, it's just Kim and Hugo trying to make each other jealous. And Conrad's just kinda there too. But it's mainly just a lengthy dance number. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure a lot of hard work into this, and the dancing is pretty good. But my god, lengthy dance numbers get really old really fast. Admittedly, it's not as bad as the Broadway sequence from Singin' in the Rain, but it still takes up a good 6.5 minutes, and it doesn't make them feel any shorter. And then, in an attempt to make it somewhat influential on the plot, Kim suddenly regrets the breakup at the end.
Hugo!
Yeah, I'm not editing anything out. It's that out of nowhere and unexplained. Certainly we could have had a much shorter, more developed scene leading to the same conclusion, yes? Whatever, back to the Russians issue, which, if I may point out, is only present in this film and nowhere in the show.
That ballet, could you just cut that 4 minutes?
To cut even 10 seconds would be artistic sabotage. This ballet has historic significance. It was performed the same day as the funeral of the Tsar.
Look, I understand that this ballet is really important for your country, I really do. And I don't know how far in advance you booked the spot for Ed Sullivan. That said, wouldn't it have made everyone's lives easier if you knew what piece you were going to use from the beginning and stuck through with it to the end? Or if you do have to change it, at least make the decision way earlier than, say, only 36 hours before the broadcast? And wait, the only reason they're doing the Birdie spot here is because they could use the theater after the ballet. You could have avoided this if you chose a girl outside Ohio! But, wait. Maybe not. I mean, this is the only chance they would have had to be on the Sullivan Show in the 10 days before Conrad's induction, and the Russians' extension could still cut into that. So this is all the Russians' fault in the end, but, well, no, sorry, I'm just going in circles. Whatever, I'm stopping there. You know, I hear in Soviet Russia, circles go around you.
I've lost Hugo, and now I'm not even going to be on TV.
Why not?
Well, the ballet's taking 4 extra minutes, so Birdie's song and the kiss are out.
Oh, serves Albert right.
It was your idea! Turns out Paisley's also the type of man Rose quote-unquote wants to get away from, so she leaves for a wild final night in Sweet Apple, leaving Kim with the reassurance that there's still good girls in a world full of men who only want to use them. Nah, I'm not gonna touch that. Turns out Rose isn't the only one with that idea, as several other characters are also going to Maud's Madcap Cafe. Albert, Hugo, unsuccessfully, and even May, who's getting along rather well with Mr. Maud himself.
I'd go in there with you if I weren't a happy family man and not allowed to enjoy myself.
Hey, what's with the red cap? You got a train inside?
Hey, where you going?
I'm gonna go down and see what the boys in the back room will have.
Yeah, nice job stopping her, Mr. Bartender.
Hey, where you going?
I'm gonna go down and see what the boys in the back room will have.
Stop, don't come back.
So this turns into the Shriner ballet sequence, where Rosie tries to get it on with the Shriners. And as awkward as this scene is, it's way more effective than Lot 11. It's shorter, and it feels like stuff's actually happening. Rose tries to get them riled up, it works, it begins to work too well, and Albert saves her. There's a legit progression here that not only ends up influencing the plot, but comes to that end result way more clearly than Lot 11. But enough of that, let's move on to the implicitly post-coital next morning.
You never saw me in pajamas before. You disappointed?
Oh, my.
They won't shorten a ballet, not even 10 seconds. It's the slowest dance I ever saw. They move like turtles.
Albert. Albert!
What?
Randolph!
Don't know why I let that Albert drag us here.
Rosie says she might have a big surprise for us.
Why is it whenever Rose has a brilliant scheme, she never tells the people who are involved in the scheme about it beforehand? And what is Rosie's brilliant scheme this time? Why, drug the conductor's milk with speed up so the ballet will be performed at super speed, leading to the unparalleled event that is the Sped Up Russian Ballet! Wait a minute, so if Speed Up gets a hand to lay more eggs a day and is thus a good thing for Harry's fertilizer business, please tell me whoever does the conductor's laundry is going to be paid extremely handsomely for this. The plan works and the Birdie spot goes on without a hitch. Except for Harry trying to steal the spotlight, but oh well, that gets quickly averted. And Hugo punching Conrad, that's a bit more concerning. Ignoring the matter of the honor punch being moved to the end of the film as opposed to only the end of Act 1 in the show with a whole other act to follow it, I just have one question. Where the hell are Hugo's parents? We never see them at all with him. Is his father that busy with the undertaking business? And does that mean Kim was right about the Birdie event being good for that business, or was it always like this?
Albert, I saw it all on TV. One Last Kiss was a disaster. Who wants to buy a record of a guy with a glass jaw? Now, will you take Mama's advice and get out of show business?
I am. My song may be dead, but my chemical formula works on people.
Oh, shh, the Russians may have this place bugged. It was Albert's formula that made the orchestra leader go that fast.
No, Albert! Don't just hint at what we did. The Russians might have this place bugged. You see, May, let me tell you exactly what Albert and I specifically did to the Russians in this place that I literally just said might be bugged. By the Russians. May finally approves of Al and Rose getting married, ridding him of any need to actually stand up to his mother. And no doubt the sudden change of heart was because May herself has found love again in Mr. Maud.
So I would like the honor of becoming your stepfather.
With my blessing.
Oh, I'm so glad, because we just got married.
Yeah.
Ah? Well, I guess it is a bit nice that May and Maud managed to find their soulmates, even if they did meet just last night. I mean, how many times has Maud been a widower?
3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't suspicious at all.
Hand in hand we'll mosey, me and little Rosie.
But we're gonna mosey in a hut what built for two.
We gotta make this quick. The cops are waiting for me off screen.
Life is one sweet, beautiful song.
So all ends happily, and we get pleasantly sent off with a quaint little love song instead of a big finale.
Bye bye.
Or not.
Time to say goodbye. Bye now.
And that was Bye Bye Birdie. What do I think? Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again in the mist.
Oh, those midgets. Wild.